All right. Hi, divine beings. Hello, beautiful beings, gods and goddesses, whatever you want to be called. I am Ken the Goddess, and welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. This is a space where we connect to our mind, body, spirit, and soul. Using the universal energy such as tarot, yoga, astrology, and much more. All right, welcome. I do want to give a disclaimer that if you hear any sound, there's construction going on in my building. So hopefully that's okay with you. Also, I do know that there's some people that want to see me shuffle, that, want to see the person channel the energy and watch the cards fall out. However, I'm not doing that today. I do have videos like that, but today I wanted to save you some time and myself to already have the cards laid out for the week ahead. So what does the week ahead have in store for you, me, us, from April 5th through April 11th, 2021? What's going to be coming up for us? What do we need to be aware of? What's the overall energy? What affirmation can we chant for this week? And if you're interested in that, go ahead, keep on watching, give this video a thumbs up, share, subscribe, comment down below, that, you're open to receiving this message, and click that post bell notification so you know the next time I upload, when the next video is uploaded. So without further ado, let us get started. Social media to keep up with me, book a reading with me is all going to be in the description down below, so go ahead and read that and let's get started. So I also do want to mention, I feel like we should reflect on last week. So if you didn't watch my last week's forecast, tarot scope, week ahead message, whichever you want to call it, go ahead and watch that and see if and if it resonated with you, and reflect, because it certainly did with me. The overall energy last week was the root chakra, building a strong foundation. You don't know how many times I heard that last week. I heard it like 3 times last week. So, and I think it was just on Monday. So the weekly messages be hitting me, so hopefully they be hitting you too. Not in but sometimes just the messages just be hidden. All right, so the overall energy for the week ahead, the chakras that are going to be playing a role for the week ahead is the heart chakra piece and the 6th eye chakra, intuitive perception. Okay, I haven't really seen that card. So for the energy for the week ahead, our heart chakra is going to be playing a big role. So connecting to our heart space, of course, connecting to our breath, because the element of the heart chakra is air. So connecting to our breath, the air element, getting some fresh air, breathing, and just making sure that things are rooted from the heart space, having a peace of mind, since this says peace. So it says, I will meditate and be peaceful and calm in my interactions with others and the world. Peaceful comes in me, giving up the love of power for the power of love. I invite peace to be a part of my life, and I make time to experience my own inner stillness daily. I continually develop an inner sense of calm, and I trust that everything will be right. Feeling good about myself will help bring peace into my life. Okay, so feeling good about yourself for the week ahead, showing yourself some self-love, some love. Taking some time to be in stillness, taking time to be in stillness, to connect with your breath consciously. Sometimes we're on autopilot, when we breathe, we forget that we're breathing. But taking the moment to is like, okay, all right, let me control my breath. Let me do that myself, okay? But also, giving up the sense of control, all right? Giving up, the love of power for the power of love. Allow love to take control of your life. Allow calmness to take control of your life for the week ahead, all right? We also have the sixth chakra, the 3rd eye. I was gonna say the 6th eye. Intuitive perception. So for the week ahead, I know that what my intuitive senses tell me are true. I open myself to the truth that is within and around me, and I know that it is there for me to receive. I practice developing my intuition, and I know that it is a major aspect of who I am. In the stillness and silence of meditation and contemplation, I will experience and know the truth. So a big thing for the week ahead is meditation and stillness. All right, the Hangman came out, but we'll get into that. So stillness and meditation is a really big thing for the week ahead, either because, we're going to be connecting with other people, and, sometimes, connecting with others can really take a toll on us, and can not make us unstable, but, sometimes just being rooted off of, the idea to take care of other people than to take care of ourselves. And I feel like the week ahead is kind of like figuring out your truth, figuring out what your truth is, what is true to you, connecting to your intuition. Your intuition is really going to be speaking to you. The moon is going to be shifting into Pisces in the next 2 days. So between the 7th, the moon will be shifting into Pisces. So really connecting to our intuition, our imagination, which is the third eye, our other vision. Yeah. All right. So let's see what else we have coming up. So for the week ahead, because we're going to be connecting with our intuition, we're going to have to let the ego go. We're going to have to let it. We're going to have to push it to the side, because sometimes our ego doesn't want to listen to our intuition. Our ego can, get in the way of our intuition, all right? We have dropped the ego, all right? And, with the heart space, creating peace, I feel like in order to create peace for the week ahead, we're going to have to be a little bit vulnerable with ourselves, because we have vulnerability. Vulnerability is hot as fuck, all right? So if you feel like you can't be vulnerable, it's because the ego is getting in the way, and woo! I feel that, so allow yourself to be free, all right? Allow your heart space to flow through, and forget what the ego has to say. Forget what other people have to say, all right? Because there is something that's going to be happening with interactions, whether this be, the ego, or, what other people may think of us, all right? What else is going to be coming up for us for the week ahead? The universe is saying, where is your sense of humor, all right? The ego, I feel like the ego is very serious, very stern, the imbalance of the heart space. It's, not being fun, not being, lighthearted, all right? So the universe is saying, you may notice that you may not be, as lighthearted, that you may not find things as funny, but it's like, have some playfulness energy, all right? We have the color orange, which is the sacral chakra, being playful, all right? Connecting with the inner child, all right? The week ahead, the universe is saying you should laugh. All right, breathing, laughing is good for the heart space, is good for the throat, is what I'm getting. Okay. All right, connect to your heart space, connect to your sacral chakra, kind of like your emotions, all right, which I think is fascinating, because at this moment that I'm filming this on April 5th through the 6th, maybe late April 7th or early April 7th, the moon is going to be in Aquarius, so it's like, not being so caught up in our mind, but allowing the intuition and, the flow, this feminine energy, to guide us to flow through, but having a balance of the masculine energy, okay? So for the beginning of the week, we have the 3 of Wands. All right, so instantly I feel with this, bright color, I'm getting, don't be afraid to allow your light to shine. Don't be afraid to allow your light to guide you, all right? Because, they're looking ahead, all right? It's kind of like, the destination, where are we going? Just looking ahead, looking at possibilities, options, or even just thinking about the opportunities, envisioning third eye opportunities, where our journey takes us, all right? In having the confidence to move forward, having the confidence to trust your inner guidance, to trust your intuition, to make a decision, in which direction you want to go towards, okay? And not being afraid, to go to new heights during this week, okay? Not being afraid to take any type of action, all right? The solar plexus is action, but it's also imperfect action, all right? We are not perfect beings, all right? So, and I feel like, whenever we think of, not being perfect, it can bring in some type of insecurity, at least for some, That's what's coming through, you know, and that's okay. But it's like being able to push through and knowing that, you know, it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to take that imperfect action, because what are you doing? You're taking the action that you need to take instead of doing nothing. And sometimes it's okay to do nothing. All right, it's okay to just observe. But, you know, there are times when we do have to take that action. And it's okay if it's imperfect. If it's okay if it's not, you know, all right, because we're still learning. All right, we're still growing. All right, we don't know everything. I mean, we do, but it takes time to uncover that. All right, so give yourself time in the space, you know, to learn new things. All right, we're not always going to be great at everything once we start something. All right. So during the middle of the week, we have the 5 of Cups. All right, so the 5 of Cups, you know, typically talks about, you know, not really crying over spilled milk. That's what's coming through, and just being mindful of your perception. All right, intuitive perception, excuse me. Being mindful of how you look at things. And, you know, because we have the 5 of Cups, the Cups energy is emotions. It's the you know, kind of like the heart space. All right, that peace. I feel like, okay, you're gonna have to, during the middle of the week, you're gonna have to come to some type of peace. You're gonna come into some, I'm getting reconciliation, but coming to terms with something that might have already left your life, things that probably aren't working for you, or just things that kind of I'm getting put you in a bad mood. That could kind of can shift your energy. You know, it's like, you know, one moment you're great, you're happy, but then the next moment it's like, oh, wow, this thought made me feel very, you know, interesting, you know. So it's like coming to terms with this, coming to terms, you know, with things that, you know, aren't working out, that are no longer serving you in your life. But it's all about the perception. All right, and you know, it's like, okay, you come to terms with this, you come to peace with this, and now you focus on what works for you, what you still have left in your life. All right, because the door that closes for you is not the door that you were meant to walk through. The door that opens for you is the door that you're meant to walk through. All right, so with this 5 of Cups, you know, we have, you know, the cups have fallen, and then we have the 2 cups that are still there. So it's like you still have some stability. You still have some stability. All right, so focus on the stability and build from that. Build with what you have. Build with what is working with you. All right, and that may require you to look at your options. All right, because we have 3 cups that are falling and we have a 3 of Wands. All right, so it's like the 3 of Wands, you know, during the beginning of this week, you're probably going to be, you know, experimenting, trying some new things out, you know, thinking about some things, you know, testing them out. And some of them may not work, and that is okay. All right, that is about taking that imperfect action. That is, you know, figuring out your purpose, figuring out what works for you and what doesn't. All right, and figuring out what does, build from that. If you want to build from it. All right, if it resonates with you, if it works for you, build from it. All right, and you know, building from something, it's like, okay, how can I build from this? All right, Hanged Man, taking the moment to, you know, to think. All right, and I feel like this Hanged Man is giving me, you know, putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. All right, because it's uncomfortable to be hanging down. All right, it's uncomfortable to be hanging down, but it comes with perspective. It comes with new opportunities. It comes with, you know, a new perspective. You know, it's just when you try something new, it gives you new energy. It gives you new wisdom. All right, so that's what's going to be happening at the end of the week. All right, there could be some enlightenment that is happening with your crown chakra. All right, grounding your ideas. All right, working with your chakras, you know, through the root chakra and coming back down through the crown chakra, down to the root. That's what the Hangman always gives me. But, you know, just taking some time out, you know, because maybe there are some things that could be triggering you, that could, you know, trigger some emotions for you throughout the week ahead. And the week ahead, we do have a new moon happening. All right, waning is when the moon is disseminating. It's going dark. So I feel like this is a great time, you know. The full moon, we have release, but that's a process to release something. All right, the 3 of Cups, something has fallen. It's not working. but we still have something that is working for us. So how can we build from this new moon in Aries? And that is happening on Sunday, April 11th. All right, that's happening at the end of the week. All right, so taking the time to think, to bring some awareness to our crown, and what are some new things that we want to do? What are some intentions that we want to set? What do we want to build? All right. We have 4, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we have 8 cards. So the number 8 could be playing a role throughout the week ahead. Maybe even the number 3 and 6. But it's fascinating because as we have 8 cards, the back of the deck is the Strength card, number 8. All right, and the Strength card, for me, it's what it says, having strength throughout this week ahead, being able to kind of maintain, excuse me, I feel like I said maintain weird. Being able to maintain a part of yourself, being able to connect, with your intuitive side, with your more wild, more free side, and being able to connect with that, and being able to take some type of action, control it, control yourself, control the ego, control your mind, and being able to work with it, okay? So for the overall energy, for the affirmation for the week, we have... This is very strength energy. I choose to live with courage. I do not allow others to intimidate me. I stand my ground. I never give up. That's so fascinating because with the heart chakra, we do have this energy of, I will meditate and be peaceful and calm in my interactions with others and the world. So there could be something, throughout the week ahead where it can be triggering you. Be mindful of how you look at other people. Try not to be intimidated by others. Try not to compare yourself to other people and how far, they're growing or how fast they're growing, because you don't know what's happening behind closed doors, all right? Even on social media is not really real, okay? You don't know what's happening behind closed door. You don't know what people feel when they, are posting a certain picture. It's, I wouldn't say it's a facade, but it's like, just be mindful to not really compare yourself to other people and their progress and be like, oh, I want to be where they're at. Appreciate where you're at. Because I promise you, sometimes, we praise so many people. This idea of just looking up to someone, and that's great, but it's like this person may not be who you expect them to be. All right, again, they're human. They are not perfect. They take imperfect action. They are not always right, but what we see, it's like, oh, okay, you are right, but it's like we don't see what's going on behind closed doors. All right, and I feel like something could come in between of your perception for the week ahead, and it could be a little harsh, but it's like you got to ground yourself. You had to ground yourself on something that was much more stable. And it may not feel that stable to the point where it's like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna have to sit back for a second. I'm really gonna have to think through some things. I'm gonna have to get myself together, and that's okay. All right, that's okay. All right. So for the affirmation through the week, go ahead and write this down, or whatever you want to do. Repeat this after me. I choose to live with courage. I do not allow others to intimidate me. I stand my ground. I never give up. Do not give up this week. Do not allow certain life situations to intimidate you, all right? If anything, go ahead and be the hanged man and, just sit down and meditate, being in stillness, all right? But you might be put in an uncomfortable situation because the hanged man is like, who was comfortable being hanged upside down? No one, all right? It might be uncomfortable, but it's going to bring you some new wisdom, some new awareness, a new perception. All right, so trust your intuition. Be mindful of the ego this week. All right, be mindful of how you look at other people's journeys and try not to compare yourself. Okay, let me know how this made you feel down in the comments. I say, write some stuff down, all right, and come back to it at the end of the week for next week's weekly message, and just let me know if this resonated with you. All right, much love to you. Have a great day. Namaste.